So if you've been fishing the California Delta the last couple months, you know that there is an endless stream of fish in that, I'll say 8 to 12 inch class. It's been tough getting the 3, 4, and 5 pounders, let alone the 6, 7s, and 8s. But this week, I'm starting to see a bit of a trend. We're starting to see more of those 6, 7s, 8s, and even 9s in the mix. Fishing is getting better for the bigger fish. Let's hope this is a trend. So with that hope, let's take a look at a few pictures, then we'll get right into the report. Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly report for August 27th. And I guarantee you this week it's going to be a lot more about fishing, less news, and more about fishing, especially the fishing that is related to right here on the California Delta. So with that, and we're also going to be announcing the winner of this month's drawing for the CNC bait package. So let's go over a little news first, and then we'll get into that drawing, then we'll get right into the report. We've got the California Delta Crappie Tournament coming up Saturday, September 12th out at Holland Riverside Marina. Entry fee of $150 per team, 5 fish crappie limit, and a $1,000 guaranteed first place. They're going to have food trucks out there, they're going to have vendors. The docks are going to be open for kids to come out and fish. So the kids can come out and legally just fish on the docks, have a great time. Make sure if you bring your son or daughter out or grandkids, make sure they have a life vest on. Marlin will be providing packages of prizes for the kids that are out there fishing on the dock. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you have any questions, call Marlin 510-691-0586. He'll get you all the information. We got the flyer up there so you can see what's going on also. That's going to lead us right into this month's drawing winner. And this is the winner this week, or for this month, which is the first time we're doing this monthly giveaway, is a generous package of baits from CC Custom Baits. I think he's got about 8 packs of worms in here. He's got a couple of his new urchin baits that are on the market. Excellent bait package, and I want to thank Adrian out at CNC Baits for not only supporting In Deep on the Delta, but supporting the entire bass fishing community here on the Delta and throughout Central California. If you're looking for CNC Custom Baits, Adrian has them in about 25 locations, all the way from Sacramento down to Modesto. If you can't find a location, hit Adrian up at CNC Baits on Instagram. He'll get you the bait that you need in the color that you need it in. So Adrian, thanks so much for supporting everyone, and great bait package. I know the winner is going to be pleasantly surprised when they get these baits and they start catching fish. So the winner of this month's drawing for the CNC bait package is number 157. That doesn't tell you guys much, but 157 goes by the name of @Realtime1. That's @REELTIME1. Realtime, if you're watching this, get a hold of me. We'll figure out how we can get these baits to you, and you can reach me at scooper, SCOOPER 9561032 @gmail.com. That leads us in to next month's drawing, or I guess it's going to be this month's drawing. We're going to do this every month. So last month, sponsored by CNC Baits. This month, the bait giveaway is sponsored by none other than Marlin Carpenter, the same Marlin Carpenter that we talked about, that is the tournament director for the crappie tournament coming up. For those of you who know Marlin, you know that Marlin is not only a tournament director, he is a bait maker. He is an avid angler. He fishes for crappie. He is a hardcore bass angler. So the bait package that Marlin is donating is just not crappie baits. It's a bunch of his favorite crappie baits and his favorite colors, along with some very nice bass baits, worms, creature baits. Marlon is a great bait maker. He's a great guy. For those of you who know Marlon, you know that this is a guy that supports everything when it comes to fishing. Again, whether it's on the Delta, whether it's fishing with the kids, whatever it is fishing, Marlon supports it. One of the nicest guys in the business, and I want to thank Marlon for donating the package. And what we're going to do, I'll show you some of Marlon's baits that he is donating here in just a minute. But if you're new and you don't know anything about the raffle, all you have to do is watch the weekly report, send in a comment, make sure I'm hoping that you're a subscriber. If you're not, hopefully you'll subscribe. Just send in a comment and you are automatically entered in the monthly drawing. So you get 3 weeks to watch the report, to get a chance to get your name in the drawing. And on the last Thursday of the month, we announce the winners. So let's talk about what Marlon is donating. He's got multiple packages of his crappie baits, and these are some of the best crappie baits you're going to find if you guys are going to start fishing these tournaments, especially up at Clear Lake. These are the types of baits that catch the winning fish. Marlon has a bunch of stick baits, worm packages. He has got he's also got some drop shot worms that we'll be adding in there. He's also got a really nice, we're going to call it a knockoff of a Bronco bug. For you guys that might do a little punching, a little flipping, throwing T-rigs, you're going to want to see these worms or these creature baits, and you're going to want to have some of these in your arsenal. I've been using them. They catch fish. They're just a great bait. We're going to highlight these baits on next week's report. Now, to add on to that, I recently met Dave Dave is a new bait maker. You may have seen him on Instagram or his company recently. He's kind of flooded the market here in the last week or so. And the name of his bait company is Delta Pride Plastics. And the package that I got from Dave over at Delta Pride has a bunch of these urchin baits. I'm going to add 2 of Dave's urchin baits from Delta Pride Plastics. We're going to throw these in with Marlon's baits, all of his crappie baits, his worms, his jigs. So it's going to be a really nice package for next month. And by the way, so that's going to be September. October, Dave from Delta Pride Plastics is going to be the sponsor. You're going to see some more of these urchin baits. You're going to see a lot of his worms and some of his baits coming up. So with that, let's get into a little bit of Clear Lake. We'll talk about Don Pedro, then we're going to really focus in on the California Delta. So what's been going on at Clear Lake? Talked to Nino from Clear Lake Outdoors this week, and the word is not, man, it's good, it's really good, you got to come up here, you know, the fish are biting. The word is phenomenal. Unbelievable. That's what's going on up at Clear Lake. I have no idea what happened to that lake. It's always been good, but it is on a cycle right now that, you know, it was voted 2 years in a row the #1 bass fishery in the United States. I'm sure it's going to be #1 again. Just unbelievable fishing. Nino says you come up, there's no end. I keep saying there's no end to the 9 to 12 inch fish here on the California Delta. Nino's saying there's no end to the 1 to 5 pound fish up at Clear Lake. If you want to get the bigger fish, a lot of the guys are scoping, and they're just fishing for individual fish. For me, if I'm catching 1 to 5 pound fish, I don't think I'm going to turn a scope on and try to catch those individual 7, 8, and 9s. If I went with one of you guys that knew what they were doing up there, and you can promise me a 8 or 9, I'd probably do that a little bit. But I think I'd be pretty darn happy to go up there, throw crankbaits, throw worms, robo worms. He said you better stop in and get yourself a couple packs because you're going to go through them. You're going to catch a lot of fish. But crankbaits are catching fish. Spinner baits, chatter baits, pretty much anything you throw, whatever you like to throw, you can go up there and catch fish. So if you go up there, make sure your boat is clean and dry. Head into Clear Lake Outdoors. They'll check it for you. They'll give you a sticker, make sure you're legal to get on the lake, and they'll give you all the up-to-date information. With that, from Clear Lake, let's go to Don Pedro. And as well as Clear Lake is fishing, Don Pedro is on the other side of that scope, just not fishing well. I talked to Aaron over at Central Valley Bait and Tackle. He'd love to have you come up, stop in the shop, but he's being honest when he says, Don Pedro, the other lakes up, surrounding lakes, McClure, McSwain, nothing's really fishing all that great right now. For whatever reason, maybe it's the traffic on the lake. Who knows what it is, but they're just not producing like it should. Hasn't been any fish kills. Nothing's going on with the lake. The fish are still there. They're just in a little slump right now, and that's going to get better. So, Aaron, thanks once again for being honest. And I know when the fishing perks up, you're going to give us some good reports for Don Pedro. Let's get right into the California Delta, and things are happening out here. And first, I'm going to plug a video that I did last week, or this week. It came up on Tuesday. It's how searching for bigger fish, or how to find bigger fish. And one of the problems, I'll call it a problem, but one of the concerns that I have been hearing from most anglers on the Delta in the last couple of months, everybody's catching fish, but they can't catch the bigger fish. So what I did last week was I contacted, I think, 6 of my buddies here on the California Delta, and these are 6 guys that are guides, tournament anglers, some of the best anglers on the Delta, and I asked them the question of how they go out and target these bigger fish. If you haven't watched that video, I would highly recommend watching it, because what that video has done for me is spawned a couple of ideas for my next couple of videos. And as we're going to let this airplane fly by, and for you guys that are out here, it's the guy in that little yellow crop duster, and I think this guy follows me around. I know we need to have these guys working out here, but man, he bugs the hell out of me almost every day out here this time of year. Okay, he's gone. Let's get into this. So I did this video, and I got information from these 6 top anglers, and what I'm finding out is some of this information kind of coincides. None of these guys knew what I was going to ask them, and none of these anglers knew what the other guys were saying. But as we put this video together, a couple of the things that were common threads of what they look for when they're going after big fish is looking for water movement and fishing specific targets. Another thing was fishing under mats. Like I said, 3 or 4 things that really everybody's looking for the same thing. So next Tuesday, I'm going to do what I consider to be a very important video, especially if you're out here struggling to catch bigger fish, and we're going to talk about moving water, tides, and targets. I think the name of the video will be something like tides, targets, and timing. Those are 3 keys to catching bigger fish, and I guarantee you I will put a video out that has information that I can almost guarantee you 100% will be new, fresh information about what you should be looking for. I shouldn't say that, because I'm talking like I know what I'm doing. I'm putting together this thing based on information that all these guys that are catching big fish are giving me, feeding me. But I think I can put it together in a package that will be very understandable, and you can use this information when you go out on your very next trip and hopefully start catching bigger fish. So make sure you check out that video next week, Tuesday, tides, timing, and targets, something like that. So what's going on out here? River's in great shape, high 70s temperature, surface vegetation, subsurface vegetation, all in good shape, plenty of good water to fish, clarity's just fine. The fish are in good shape, and one of the trends that we've seen this week, especially in the tournaments and in the bags coming in that I've seen, or people that I've been talking to, still a lot of fish that are coming in, a lot of small fish, but there are some bigger fish. A lot of the 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s are starting to show up. These are these females that are fully recovered from spawn now, and they're starting to feed up for winter. And I think the next couple months we're just going to continue to see these bigger fish grow. So really important to know that tide, know the time to be there, and know the targets to fish for. Let's talk about some tournament results, then we'll get into the specifics of what's going on out here. So we had the Wednesday nighter, 22 pounds to win, but the difference between this Wednesday nighter and maybe a few of the past Wednesday nighters, these are, I think, the top 8 guys, 22 and some change. These are all 20, 22, 21, 20 and change, but 22 to win, second 20, 21, third 21. Then it went down to 18, 18, 18, 17, 17. Lots of good, strong, healthy bags. Now, these aren't all 7, 8, 9 pounders, but these are bags that are averaging 4.5 pounds, and with big fish mixed in. They had a 2 9-pound fish come in, 9.5 for big fish and 9.1 for second big fish. They had 66 boats. That was Wednesday night. The Bass Hole had their high roller tournament, high roller, low roller format. That was, I believe, Sunday. My buddy Zach Thompson won that with 18.8. Down a little bit from the Wednesday night tournament, but I believe these guys were fishing daylight. The tides have been better in the evening, so that probably accounts for smaller weights. Low rollers had 17.6. They had about a 12 or 13 pound average, and I suspect that the Wednesday night, the average guys were getting 12 or 13 pounds. The Bass Hole tournament also produced a fish over 9 pounds, a 9.4, and they had a couple of 8s come in, so bigger fish starting to show up. The Mike Vaughn Classic was also Sunday. That was a 3-fish limit. It took 19 pounds, 3 fish for 19 pounds to win that. My partner Ted and I fished that. We had a great time. I wish we would have caught 19 pounds, but that just didn't happen. I think Ted and I were just under 11 pounds, so we had a 3.5 pound average per fish, 3-fish limit, and we did cash a check, so that was great. But I can say there was a lot of folks that found lots of fish in that 2.5 pound class. What you needed to get into even cashing a check was that one fish around high 4 or 5 pounds. Ted and I had one fish that was about right at 5 pounds, and then we had a couple high 2s, 2.7, 2.8, whatever it was. But it took a 5-pound fish and back it up with a couple of decent fish to cash a check. There was a 9-pound fish that was weighed in the tournament. There was an 8-pound fish. The team that had the 8-pound fish won the tournament. Man, they had some studs. They had an 8, a 7, a 6, whatever it was, 19 pounds, a heck of a bag. Second place, they had that 9-pounder, and they had, I think, about 16 or 17 pounds. After that, anywhere from about 15th place, and I think they had about 80 boats. 15th place to right into 3rd place was all separated by maybe a pound or a little bit over. So it was, everybody was catching those 2.5 to 3 pound fish. The teams that were lucky enough to get that, 5-pound fish, you got to cash a check. So with that, let's get into what's going on here in the out here in the Delta, what I've been seeing and what I've been hearing at the dock and what the reports have been showing. And again, thank you guys for sending in the reports. I know a lot of you guys are frustrated because of the smaller fish, but things are going to change. So what have I been seeing? Still a pretty decent topwater bite in the AM. The evening topwater bite has been better than the AM topwater bite, and I think that has to do be tide related. Not quite as many fish coming in on that topwater bite, the AM PM topwater bite, but there are some bigger fish that are starting to appear. Walking baits are doing a lot of the damage for me. Still not getting them on the bigger baits, so I would stick to poppers, walking baits, your favorite topwater baits that are on the small size. After the sun comes up, you still have some pretty darn good fishing till about 10 in the morning. After about 10 in the morning, it's all kind of tide related. The rock banks and rock tule banks are producing more than the Tule Islands. They're producing more fish, they're producing occasional larger fish, but the Tule Islands, while you're not going to get as many fish, seem to be producing the bigger fish. You can catch a big fish on a chatterbait, you can catch a big fish on a worm. Frogging is coming on, obviously, with this hot weather, fishing under mats, whether you're frogging or punching, those are two keys to catching a lot of the bigger fish. If you're not a frog guy or a punch guy, you can throw worms, you can throw chatterbaits. What else? Oh, spinner baits were hot about a week ago also. A lot of guys were catching fish on spinner baits. Pretty much junk fishing, you know, drop shotting, slowing down. And again, moving water is very important out here now. You got to be fishing around moving water. Next week, we're going to try to clear that up in my Tuesday video. And I'm going to really focus on how moving water attracts fish. And once you get in the area that the moving water has attracted fish, it's just not being in that area. It's how to figure out how the moving water is dispersing fish into the high target zones. Once you know the area that the fish have came to, the moving water, and then you are able to figure out the specific target zones within that area, I think that is the key to catching bigger fish. So with that, I want to leave you guys and get out, have some fun. The weather has been beautiful, it hasn't been that hot. Mornings are absolutely fabulous. Evenings, you might find a few mosquitoes here and there, but they're absolutely beautiful too. The sunsets have been beautiful with the cloud cover we've had. It's the time to be out here. It's a lot of fun, and I think everybody's going to start to catch some of these bigger fish coming up. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the river. Good luck.